All right. Okay. I got two things, and the one thing will lead into the other, and I need you to be honest with me, because a lot of the things that I'm trying to figure out and decide kind of weighs on the things you're about to tell me.
Okay.
So, because I do need your help in some way. I think I'm still trying to figure out what my move will be, but let's start with the first thing. Um, what's your business with Lang, and why does it still currently exist? Just so I kind of know where you're at.
What's my business with him?
Yeah.
I don't do business. I don't have business with Lang. We're just close. Like,
Okay.
basically, we're close via proxy through Speedy.
Okay.
And essentially, like, over the last, I don't know, probably a couple year and a half, we've been, helping Buddha with his campaign and, told him we'd have his back if, some groups were trying to fuck with him. Obviously, when Gigi
Yeah.
and Buddha and his Roosters people were beefing, I told both sides that, like, I'm not getting involved. Like, I'm not even the closest thing that I offered was to be a mediator, to be like, to talk to both sides and try and calm down the storm. But outside of that, I think everybody, including all of the gangs, they know where I stand on with both you guys and with Buddha.
So does he have any sort of persuasion or power to manipulate any sort of decision making you're doing in regards to you and Ira ties, being BSK and GG?
No, there's nothing he could do or say that's going to get me to go against GG or try and fuck you guys over.
Okay.
Like, I value the relationship more than money or opportunity.
All right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. And the way I look at things, I think everybody in this fucking city has worked or is working with him anyway. So it's not like it's necessarily a bad thing. It's just, due to our recent, events, we've kind of just a little allergic to Mr. Lang, So I just wanted to make sure that that's squared away. Because
I don't do business with him.
Yeah, I know.
I offered to be of service of his. He told me he was going to get back to me about that, but I never heard back yet. So,
gotcha.
In terms of a business opportunity, I have no ties directly with Buddha.
Okay. All right. That's good.
All my stuff's with Speedy. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. What is your opinion about the Italians? Luciano.
I don't have one. I just met the what did you just say his name was? Cristiano?
Luciano Dicenzo is one of them, and then Vito is the second hand. And he's got a bunch of other dudes.
So I just met Luciano last night in Little.
There's an issue that's kind of arisen.
Okay.
Duty had given Luciano, aka the Italians, till Monday to pay $750,000. Yes. Mm-hmm. He's now 2 days past. I've not heard anything from them yet. So there's going to be a time where I need to have a sit down with him, remind him, and make him aware that every day that goes on, there'll be another 50K added on top. But obviously, I can't work up on my own, and I can probably grab some dudes that are able to help out. But I'm just trying to figure out what the right way to do things is. And considering now that Sakid's kind of poking around here, and he's pretty closely tied with them as well, not necessarily an Italian, but, it's all in the same camp, up there. So, I don't know if you want to get involved in any sort of way and help with that. But if you do, be welcomed. If not, it's all right. It's your call to make.
So, what are you proposing here?
So I'm going to talk to him.
Do you want me to get involved? Do you want me to, grab the troops and smoke these dudes and be like, give the money, or do you want me to?
It depends on what happens, right? So I'll talk to them, and I'll bring people with me. We'll sit down, and I'll remind him of the payment he is due. And if he wants an extension, that is fine. It'll go 50K per day up. And if he just simply declines, then I guess it's on smoke.
So why does he owe you this money again?
I don't know the exact
warehouse
details.
Or something.
Somebody
told me something.
Yeah, so I think it might have to do with the Boris guy. This is what I'm assuming. I got to talk to the guys and really get the details from this. But
I'm close with Boris. I know Boris. I wouldn't say close, but it's funny that you mentioned that because 3 or 4 days ago, Boris called me.
It's my bridge.
And wanted me to meet with the Italians. Told me that I'd really like them and that we should do business together. Yeah. So I don't know if Boris has to do with your issue or
I'm not sure, but I'll tell you this: the Boris dude is part of the Italians, and he, I guess, had the warehouse, and then did a bunch of snaky shit. It was kind of honestly is one of the reasons why this whole war with them initially begun, um, and also why there's still an issue with the Italians, right? I think that's the main thing. Um, but regardless, I don't really care too much about the details. I've just been told how it is, and this is how we move forward. And if they want to talk details and have a Q&A, they can pay the money and go talk to the guys in Bolingbrook, if they really want to know. That's kind of where I stand, right?
Okay, so do you mind telling me you don't know exactly what happened? Because obviously I'm getting the story from...
Yeah, so there was a 2-week gap between, I guess, the war that took place with the guys up there and us, and me coming back and kind of getting updated. And I didn't really have any sort of recap on what happened in those 2 weeks. All I know is that there's been some shootouts between some of our guys and the Italians, and then the demand of money was made, and he was given a deadline for Monday, which is now 2 days ago. And I think it has to do with, I assume, with the whole Boris guy being Italian, snake in the warehouse, getting rid of all the product that was in there, which is a lot of money, and just kind of like getting away with that scot-free,
So your stuff was in the warehouse? And
yeah, so it was a warehouse full of shit, and because Dickhead and Ford and the guys did some funny shit at the Roosters, the TV show drive-by thing that they got punished for. They got shot down, thrown in the pit, and they suffered and ascended. And then peace was called. Followed then the next day, Lang disregarded all peace that was made the day before and blew up the fucking restaurant. But the Boris dude never actually, paid up or fixed the issue. He just kind of kept it and got rid of all the product, I assume, sold the warehouse, and I think somebody else owns it now. So he just kind of washed his hands from everything, Okay. And he also, I think we tried to grab him, and he fought back. So it was a whole thing. So and we gave him ample opportunity to listen. Just give the shit back. We'll get out of your hair. We'll stop doing business. Just you can wash your hands clean with no effort, no grudge, no fallback. Just give it back, and we'll cut ties. And instead, he got greedy and decided to keep the shit.
All right.
So that's kind of where it came down to.
All right. Well, let me have a couple of conversations.
Yeah.
You keep me in the loop.
Will do.
I will tell you this, like, out of respect, like, if this requires me to go shoot up Rooster's Rest or
I think just the Italians. It's not going to be Roosters.
Yeah, but it could get
especially
murky,
with the whole Sakid thing regarding you guys too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
then you'll get Harry in the car, and then now suddenly
exactly. Then it's a thing.
It bleeds over 100%.
The good news is the only lifeline that you gave me here that can allow me to get involved, and I have an excuse to, is that Zakid purposely are telling people to tank rep in Cyprus and to sell there.
Yeah.
So I mean, we basically have a shoe-in for that, but that doesn't mean that Zakid isn't gonna just suddenly, call up people from Roosters or whatever, and that puts me in a fucking shit spot or puts them into a shit spot. So this is just something I'm gonna have to navigate and speak to a couple of people. I want to have a chat with Zakid, but I don't know if he's gonna bullshit me to my face or
he probably will.
Yeah, I mean, him and I have always kind of had a dodgy relationship.
Cocky,
so
it's how he goes.
Exactly. Well, I mean, he just thinks he's a one-man army. He always has. Yeah. So. And it is what it is. So anyway, I appreciate you coming to me. I will. Just, I'll have some combos.
Yeah, talk to you guys about things and just figure out where your head's at. Look, if you say no, no problem at all. I can get some other guys. It's just I'd rather do things because here, I'll be honest as to what I'm thinking. Right, if some of the guys that I do have hanging around and being able to help out, if the guys that are now in Bolingbrook wanted those people to be the ones to fill the void, they would have planned that beforehand. But all I know is that they had a bridge built with you, and they've put energy and time into in your relationship with us. So I want to kind of respect that and go the right routes before I start improvising and starting fucking
Well, what about the piss babies? Where are the piss babies?
That's what I'm saying. I can pull those in and take care of shit anyway, but there's a reason why that weren't kind of like prepared for anything beforehand. So I don't want to like step on any toes and jump the gun when they've obviously made this relationship
so what happens if I can get your money back? Like what happens if I can have a conversation with these guys, talk some sense into them, and I get you your $750K?
Fine by me.
Okay.
As long as they pay the money, I'm cool. And regardless, with or without you, if they refuse and if they You know?
Yeah, you do what you got to do. Yeah, I get.
Finally, we'll bleed red once again. So
Yeah,
no issue.
No, it's all good. All right. Well, I appreciate it, Jules. I'll have some conversations. Let's link back up. Either
we can talk tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Like. Yeah, we'll talk tomorrow. Exactly. Somewhere around this time, maybe a little earlier.
All right. Well, sounds good, man.
All right, man. Appreciate your time. Thank you for everything. Honestly. We'll talk tomorrow.
All right, my man.
All right, brother.